Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Idle Zeros. You will notice that I'm a little bit happier in this one than in my last tier list because we're actually ranking the men this time. This is the male tier list, or as I like to call it, the important tier list. Now that the women are out of the way, we can start to rank the homies. And so, without further ado, let's just jump straight into it because this list is going to be long, and I'm going to try to close this ad. There we go. This list is going to be long, so buckle up because you're not allowed to leave. You already clicked on the video, you're committed, and now you have to watch literally the whole thing. And it's probably going to be like an hour long because there are more heroes in this one than in the female one. But we'll get along straight to it now. First things first, the Raven Ice Blink skin is unattractive. The head is big, and overall, he just looks diseased. I'm not a huge fan, but something tells me that Ice Blink will come back to be redeemed sooner rather than later. So just hang tight there. Next up, Fat Moo barbecue skin. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could Fat Moo be anything above ugly? Well, first of all, he has a mustache. Look at that thing. Here, I'll try to zoom in. I know you'd like to be tickled by that thing. I know I would. And he has food. So that automatically bumps him up a tier from unattractive. I don't think I'm feeling generous enough to put him into average tier, but I think unattractive is good enough for me. Next up, we have Rogan. Now, Rogan is a furry. And honestly, I would worry for the safety of my channel and for my reputation if I put Rogan above average. And so for that reason, Rogan is going to stay in average. And I'm not going to elaborate any further on Rogan's placement, actually. Moving on. Moving on, we have Ormus. Ormus looks slightly healthier than Ice Blink, and he looks more human than Fat Moo, so he goes in the average tier, which I think is kind of generous, actually. He's not a bad-looking old dude, but he's still an old dude. And so even average-looking old dudes are kind of like bad-looking normal dudes. Not that being old isn't normal, but you know what I mean. Anyway, Kamath is unattractive, and I'm putting him in the unattractive tier because his 10-star form looks a little bit more sleek and a little bit more appealing than his 5-star form, which I think is disgusting and would go in the ugly tier. However, I like purple. I think purple's cool, and yeah, he just looks a little bit more streamlined here. I mean, those teeth are kind of worrisome. He's got like this weird shark fin going on the back there. But I think unattractive is where he belongs. We actually might need to create a tier between unattractive and ugly because I think the Ice Blink skin is better. Actually, I think what we'll do is just put Ice Blink up there, and then I feel better about this tier list already. There we go. Holmes Young, daddy tier. And I am ranking the pre-beefcake version of Holmes Young. I prefer the normal standard looking human version, and so this is the one we're going to be keeping. If we had his jacked version on here, he would just go probably in the average tier. He looks kind of like grotesque, I think, whenever he's all roided up. Not a huge fan of that. Mim, I don't know where to put, to be honest, because I don't understand how I could be attracted or unattracted to this. He just looks like he's just an absolute being. He just exists, and I just have like this asexual response to Mim, and so for that reason, I think Mim goes in average tier, maybe. Um, or maybe we put him in the unranked because I don't feel anything towards it. It looks like I'm looking at an object. We'll go unranked. We'll go unranked for um, the ones I can't rank. Walter is average. He looks really scary, and I don't really like the mask he has on his head. But like if you look at his torso, you can tell dude's like absolutely jacked and rippled underneath there. And I'm trying to see that. In a it's in an only slightly homosexual way, but this is mostly a tier list for just complimenting the homies, just bros supporting bros. It's only a little bit gay, or maybe it'll get a lot gay later, based on the category names. Anyway, God of War, I think is what it's called. We're gonna put an unattractive tier because he's too heavily armored to actually see what's going on. So I just straight up can't tell. And then Sleepless I think falls into the same category as Mim, where I can't really tell if I'm attracted to it. I can't imagine having any overtly feelings of attractiveness or unattractiveness in regards to Sleepless. Aspen is attractive. Dude is just a mega knight king under there. We love Aspen. And so I think he goes up there. And it's going to be the same with regular Aspen as well. We'll just put him up there for now. But in fact, I think this one looks better. Absolute Chad. This Mammoth skin is ugly as shit. And so it's going to be the first one in the ugly tier. I don't want to touch that thing. I don't even want to look at that thing. And if I could just have a tier where I don't have to look at it for the rest of the video, I would probably do that. Here we have our next daddy tier. It's the Straw Hat Inosuke. Dude is just father material in a not weird way. But just look at him. Dude's smiling. He's got the little grass in his mouth. Daddy tier for sure. Easy. This Aspen, the Lord of Fear Aspen Commander skin, just goes in average because he's human-ish, but he's old. I'm not a biggest fan of the beard, to be honest. And in a weird way, I'm less attracted to another, or I'm less attracted to this Lofa skin than another Lofa skin, which we'll go on later. Bloodblade is also ugly. He's got like this weird grimace going on, and in fact, we can just move Kameth down here, I think. I think Kameth is just ugly now that I think about it. Moonwalker Azrael is attractive. Same tier as Aspen. Dude is an absolute specimen under that armor. I can tell. This Bade skin is ugly as fuck. Disgusting. Waldeck is average. Weirdly enough. I like his wings. Dude smiling. And if you've heard his voice line, holy crap. That dude has a voice like butter. He should be like doing radio shows and stuff. I would listen to him all day long. This is the best looking Dragon Slayer, but as with the female tier list, I don't like long ears, so he goes in the unattractive tier, I think. And I think I'm going to be good with that. Dantalion skin goes in ugly because he's like this weird hunchback, stumpy-legged little gremlin guy. And to be honest, I'm not about it. Asmodel the Dauntless, God of War skin. Same Chad syndrome as Moonwalker Azrael and the two Aspens up there. Absolutely gorgeous. Ice Blink's head is too big, goes in average tier. Easy. We might just hold on. He's cooking. We haven't ranked the regular regular Ice Blink skin yet. Okay. Now, as you know, I am partial to Star Alchemist Holmes Young. And in fact, he's the most attractive one here. Dude has a face just so silky smooth. He is absolute father material in a gay way. Absolutely. I'm not gonna hide it. Um, just absolutely. Absolutely Star Alchemist Holmes Young's Easter skin. Dude's got the monocle. He's fancy, which also means he's got money, which is just a win in my book. Honor Guard is unattractive. He's a dwarf and he's almost in the ugly tier, but he looks somewhat human, so he can stay. Same with Ankirimaru. I don't really like the mask. It has like this weird underbite, which I find unappealing. And I think we need to move Dragon Slayer up here and then Fat Moo down there. And I think we're going to be good. Ugly Dragon Slayer skin, unattractive, but still looks human. The eyebrows are just disgusting. Is that even a skin? No, that's just his regular 10-star form. They downgraded him hard. He looks better at 6-star. Sigmund, attractive. Almost daddy tier. Almost daddy tier. Just pretty much anybody that looks like an armored Chad goes in the attractive tier, and there are going to be very, very few exceptions to that. I can't rank the Amivore one because he looks like a robot. Which you might say, well, wait a minute, you put Tussie in attractive tier, in average tier, and I'm just like, well, yeah, but I don't have a good argument actually. I can't justify it, but I don't feel anything towards the Amivore skin, but I feel attracted to Tussilago, which we're not even going to talk about because this is the men tier list. Drake is a dragon. I think I like regular Drake better. Yeah, his face just looks a little too mean to be anything above unattractive. I don't think I like that very much. Oberon skin, daddy tier, of course. Same thing as Star Alchemist Holmes Young. Dude is classy. Yeah, yeah, very attractive. Very attractive. Amivore, another skin down there. Definitely. Russell is the first wood throat. He's got this Legolas thing going on. Oh, I like his little hood. Well, not a hood, but it's like a little scarf thing. He's got like a turtleneck on, and I really like turtlenecks. And in fact, regular Holmes Young almost won it, but that's more of a bandana and not a turtleneck. He's got a bow. Dude is handsome. I would throat Russell in a gay way. Lord of Fear Aspen Santa skin is unfortunately gonna have to go in the unattractive tier. Dude just looks like a demon, and the Santa get up is really cool and scary, but it does not get points for attractiveness. And the tentacles look the worst. This is the worst looking tentacle for a Lord of Fear Aspen skin. I don't like the chains, and I don't like the stars at the end. And I think the actual fight animation looks worse too. Not a fan. Not a fan. Bleecker is ugly. He's like Honor Guard, but worse. His head is enormous, and he's about the same height. It's just not good. It's not looking good for Bleecker. Gustin, clown skin. Some of you are into clowns. I am not into clowns. And so Gustin, I am getting some weird vibes from that Gustin, and I'm not gonna elaborate on them any further. But he's gonna go in the unattractive tier for sure. Next up, Sihu is unattractive. Sorry, he just is. He's a fat panda, and his facial hair is weird, and his idle animation is just disgusting because he jumps out at you from the screen, and I just don't like that. And he's got like this weird man ponytail coming down from the top. Dude is just losing. Not a fan. Lutz goes in unattractive as well. He's a fish. Little fish guy. His 6-star version is better. I would put that one in average, but we rank the 10 stars here. Bloodblade goes in ugly, but this one looks better than all of these. Actually, this one goes all the way at the bottom because that's disgusting. And I think I like red Bloodblade more than white Bloodblade. Dasmog, attractive tier. Easy. Actually, I think this one goes in average. And then his normal one will go in attractive. Speaking of attractive, we got Sherlock. This is actually my least favorite looking Sherlock, funnily enough, and he's in attractive tier. Dude is just constantly dripped out, no matter how he looks. It's just incredible. I love Sherlock. Dude is just, he's got it going on. I think that's Ormus. He's unattractive. He's just a little old dude with a book, little nerd guy, and I don't like it. Cthulhu is also unattractive. The Halloween skin. His hand is too big, and the skull is kind of like, it's gratuitous, is what it is. It's a little bit too much, and I don't like the little clockwork thing he's got. He looks very cool, but he does not look attractive. Asmodel the Dauntless, his husband skin, the proportions are all off, and I really don't like the colors. And I'm actually going to go far enough to say that this is an unattractive look for Asmodel the Dauntless, which might seem weird, but this is my tier list, and you can make your own if you want. Just kidding, because I'm not going to link it, and this is the objective tier list. Vulcan is at the top of average, I think. Dude is just like this absolute warlord, just killing shit. His skin looks kind of derpy in the animation, but in the picture I chose, it doesn't. He's just got the glowing eyes. Looks very strong. Yeah, average tier, almost attractive. Edga's gross and unattractive, but not as unattractive as the ugly tier. Ugly tier though, King Barton. I despise King Barton. Dude is just a short, fat, bearded piece of shit, and I don't want to look at him anymore. Cruz is unattractive. Oops, I clicked on an ad. Oh, that could have been bad. I did that last video too. That's embarrassing. Yeah, Cruz just kind of looks like a creature, and I'm not really into that. Now, I know I said I'm not into creatures, like literally 5 seconds ago, but Field reminds me of Davy Jones, and I am partially attracted to Davy Jones. And so I think I would be happy. He can just go in the top of unattractive, I think. I think I'm good with that. The Gurk skin, I don't know what he's got under there, but I want to see. Dude is absolutely sexy. Sexy skin, cool skin, and I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get in on that. Inosuke's hat is too big. He goes in average tier. If not, he would go in attractive tier. But he just kind of looks stupid. His little stupid chin strap too. I don't like it at all. Lord of Death Azrael has ascended to the attractive tier because he's got like the Sigmund Asmodel the Dauntless skin syndrome, where he just looks like this armored Giga Chad, and I'm into it. And for some people, it might be kind of hard to see because it looks like the armor might actually be part of him, and so he just like isn't capable of such things. But that doesn't mean I can't try, right? So we're gonna try anyway. This is a worse version of the Asmodel the Dauntless skin, and it goes in average tier. Dantalion, this one is slightly more attractive than the blue one, but not by much. Yeah, he goes in the ugly tier. Sorry. The Cyberpunk Horus skin, also same tier. It's just gross and strewn together. Cthulhu, it's better than his other skin, but still unattractive. His hair is a really weird purple color. He looks really cool, but he just looks very unattractive as well. And back to the daddy tier, we have Valentino's Christmas skin. Holy crap, look at that. Dude is beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Good for him. He's got it going on. ODO1 falls into the unranked tier because I can't even tell what I'm looking at. This Asmodel is unattractive. It's just not good. It might be a little. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. This Rogan skin is scary and goes in the unattractive one because I'm not. Because like at least the average Rogan looks clean, but this one just doesn't look clean either, and so that's where I have to cut it off. Warlord Horus. All right, he's a little Birdman, and I know he's a little Birdman, but I don't decide how I feel about these things. I just do, and I'm conveying these feelings to you. And I say that this Horus skin, the bloody war god, goes into the average one. Cruz, same deal with his skin. He's just unattractive, just not appealing to look at. He's got these weird little chin horns here, which means he's actually worse. He's just gross. And now we have an interesting one. Here we have Andrea's skin. And Andrea is going to go all the way to the wood throat category because Andrea is just an absolute femboy. And I would tap that all day long. You wouldn't be able to tear me away from that. So Andrea's skin goes in the wood throat category. And I know you all agree too. Like, that's the funny thing. That you're going to be like, no, Andrea's gross. But you're just trying to defend yourself. You can't. Just accept it. You're watching the video, so you might as well just be like the rest of us and be normal and be attracted to Andrea. Drake skin. It's better than this one, but it's still like a dragon looking thing. And I don't really see it. Bade is still ugly. He's got like this weird, gross, dead person hair going on, and his eyes just like stare into your soul in a bad way. And I'm just not about it. This is the best looking Cthulhu skin, and unfortunately it's still unattractive. It's just slightly higher than the other ones. It's the least unappealing, but it's still unappealing. So sorry for that. Mirage, I can't even tell what's going on, but we'll put it in the average because it looks like there's just maybe a human under there, but I'm okay with it. Mim skin goes in unranked. This Asmodel looks better than the other Asmodel, and in fact, I'm going to put it into the average one. I think his proportions are weird, so he's not going to go with the other armored dudes. But it's not bad. Not bad at all. Field looks better than Carnival Field, I think. They're about the same. But either way, they're both unattractive. And I'm just not going to elaborate because I already talked about the other one. Karim skin is a robot, and I don't really feel anything towards it. Okay. Delacium goes in average. He's a fish. I see the teeth there, and I'm a little bit worried about it. But fish are known for having voluptuous, voluminous lips. And so, in fact, the Jellybane skin is going to go above that one. And in fact, I think it's actually going to jump just below regular Vulcan. And then the regular Delacium can stay there. This Walter skin's disgusting. I don't want anything to do with that. Das Moog goes into daddy tier, attractive tier. His proportion, I love the shoulder pads. He looks very, very broad shoulders. And we're all about broad shoulders at Idol Zeros. Just look at him. Just look at him. Ormus skin, disgusting. Dude looks just less clean than regular Ormus, who I'm considering now moving down to unattractive, but I'm not going to bite the bullet on that yet. Unimax is a robot, and I don't feel anything. This Mockman is unattractive. His arm is too big. If it looked cooler and was a little bit more sleek and streamlined, it might go into the average tier, but the red eye is just too distracting, and the arm is just absolutely enormous, and I don't think I'm willing to give it anything above unattractive, although we can put it at the top of unattractive, I think. I think we could do that. Femboy Mockman. Well, not Femboy Mockman, but just, I don't even know what to call this. Ladyboy Mockman. Dude looks very feminine here, and I'm not a huge fan of the skin itself because Mockman is such a good looking hero, and I think this one is just actually just a humongous downgrade. But I don't think I could, in good conscience, put him anything below average tier. And I think, in fact, we have to put it into the attractive tier because he's an okay looking human. But I'm less attracted to the Mockman skin than I am either Aspen or any of the skins above him. So, yeah, moving on. This one's a little bit weird. I feel nothing because it's like a robot dude. Here we go. Another daddy tier. It's Valentino. Surprise, surprise. They knocked Valentino's hero design out of the park. Although with this one, I don't like his baggy legs. Like you can tell his pants are just super baggy, unless his quads are built like, well, I don't even know. Like they look like kites and they look too big, and I'm not a fan of that. But despite that, dude's jawline is absolutely chiseled. He's got the little fluff around his neck with the clothes he's wearing. It's just a W all the way around, and it's better than the Oberon skin. Russell, the color scheme isn't as good, but nonetheless, actually, I would like to see some eyes. He goes in the attractive tier, and that's as high as I'm willing to go. Tara's Christmas skin is unranked because I don't really know how to feel about it. Berea is unattractive. This Horus is less attractive than the Bloody War God one, and it's gonna go, I think, right there. I think that's a fair placement. Tuxedo Lutz, the Godfather skin. I wish I could like this, but he's still got like that weird looking dude syndrome, and so he goes towards the top of unattractive. But even though he's well dressed, I can't do it. Rose is ugly, especially with the leaves caught in his beard on that one. He's just not good. Not a good looking skin. Gru is a little tree man, and his head's too big, and he goes in the ugly tier. Probably the top of ugly, but ugly nonetheless. Gustin, I think, is just unattractive. I don't think he's disgusting to look at, but I don't think he's pleasant to look at either. If I could find the other Gustin skin, I would put it right next to that. Yeah, I like it just a little bit less than the Carnival Gustin skin. Here we have Sherlock. Dude is just dripped out all the time. And this one's going to go probably right next to the other one. I can't decide between the two, actually. I'm having trouble. I like the colors on the one with the sword, and I think the sword might just edge him out a little bit. Not past Sigmund, but I think that's good. Faithblade looks like a robot, and therefore goes unranked. Mirage, I like his hair. I think his 6-star version looks better, but nonetheless, he will go at the very bottom of attractive, I think. Dude's a ninja. He's not. His proportions are good. I like his hair again. He's got the little swoosh going down. He looks cool. I like him. And here we go. Here is Father Sherlock, who's gonna go to the daddy tier. Dude is dripped out. He's got the coat drip. He's got the coat draped over his shoulders, even though he's not using the sleeves. Dude's got the hat. Dude is just. Oh, he's just dripping with sex appeal, and I'm all for it. I am all for it. Here we have Ilamak, based Ilamak. I wanted to put him up. I wanted to put him in the attractive tier because he's a nice looking dude, but unfortunately he's a ginger. so, so he goes. So he goes in the ugly tier. I think. Okay, obviously I'm kind of joking, but it does knock him down. He goes into the average tier. He looks average. He looks best of average. Moving on. This looks disgusting. I'm not a fan of the scary skin. I don't want to have relations with that. I want to have relations with Oberon, though. Attractive tier all day long. Top of attractive, probably. Not as good as the monocle. Um, yeah, not as good as the monocle. I like, I like his skin better. Femboy Andrea makes it to the top. I think I'm happy with that placement, but actually, I think I'm gonna put Andrea. I'm gonna put the base Andrea right there. Yeah, I'm happy with that placement. Just absolute would go to town on that, and you wouldn't be able to tear me away. King Barton is ugly. Better than his other one though, so we'll put him right there. This is gross, actually, and I think we're gonna put that in the ugly tier. And just it's odd, but the ugly tier is actually worse than the unranked tier because unranked means unranked, and I don't have an opinion that I'm willing to express. But ugly just means it's like bad. So just keep that in mind. Siahu is better looking than his Cyber Warrior version and is going to go right there. He's a panda, but he's a handsome looking panda. He's a little bit chubby, which is okay, but you know, still unattractive, I think. Morax is also unattractive, but barely unattractive. I don't like the fact that he smokes, but dude is absolutely yoked. You can't take that away from him. Faithblade looks kind of cool. Dude's tapered, and even though he looks like this being made of light, I am I am attracted to Faceless. I mean, not Faceless. What the hell? Faithblade. Scary is gross still. I'm not a fan. Dominator is gross, but is slightly human, so can go in the unattractive tier. Unimax is a robot, and in fact, I hate that skin, so he can go in the ugly tier. Sleepless skin, same deal with regular Sleepless. Star Alchemist Holmes Young. Wood throat tier, every day of the week. Just look at the dude. Dude's hair just flows. It's green, which is interesting. Dude's got like this weird, like 4-part just coat thing just draped over him. Oh my god, I'm attracted to Star Alchemist Holmes Young, which is fitting because I am the Sahi enjoyer, and I do enjoy Sahi. Tara goes in unranked, I think. Yeah. Video game Valentino skin. I think it might be the weakest of the Valentino skins, but it's daddy tier still. Maybe not. I think he looks a little bit too pale, and he looks kind of sick, but I think his hair looks the best in this one, actually, which is kind of weird. And he's got like this turtleneck thing going on, which I'm a fan of. Definitely attractive. Another scary skin. Another ugly. Not attractive that in the slightest. Gru looks slightly worse than the blue one. Morax looks slightly worse than his regular version. But he's kind of mechanical too, so maybe we bump him down. I think we put him right there. I think that's a fair placement. Star Swordsman Mockman. Oh my goodness. The attractive version of Star Swordsman Mockman goes in daddy tier. Dude is absolutely beautiful. Dude's got the hair. He's got like this cape thing, which I'm actually a pretty big fan of. I just wish his skin wasn't so garbage. But dude is a beautiful looking human guy. I don't know if he's human because he's like from space or something, but I would is basically what I'm trying to say. I would. Aiden is kind of unattractive. Not much to say. He's just ugly. His face is wide, and he's like this weird shade of purple, which I don't like. Amivore, I can't rank. Santa Aspen skin is unfortunately going to go into the unattractive tier. In fact, I think it's going to go right next to Santa Lord of Fear Aspen. They're just both not very attractive. I love the skins, but I'm not attracted to them, unfortunately. Light Officer Russell. Daddy tier. Not as good as the other one, but same principle as Bly. Dude's beautiful. He's got the hat. He's got like this red. Oh, I don't know what to call it, but like the collar of his jacket thing just goes up. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Lord of Fear Aspen. Now, keep in mind that the Krampus skin is right there, and the general skin, the commander skin, is right there. Now, this one looks less human. However, he looks much cooler. And to be honest, these are the only tentacles that I would be comfortable touching from any of the Lord of Fear Aspen variations. And in fact, these are the only tentacles that I would be excited to be touched by. And so for that reason, Lord of Fear Aspen's actually going to go right up to attractive tier. Because dude can pull off some wild stuff with them tentacles. I know it. And his thing is like fear, which I kind of like being scared. It kind of gets me off a little bit. And so That's just what we're going to do. That's where he goes. This Das Moog skin is very cool, but it's also not attractive. Dude looks gross and infected by something, and I don't want to catch whatever he has. Sigmund's skin is significantly worse than base Sigmund, who is in attractive tier, and so this one is going to go at the bottom of the average tier. Gusta is unattractive, and in fact, he's a rock guy, and he's unattractive. He's so unattractive, in fact, that he goes to ugly tier. He's not worse than King Barton, though, so I'm going to put him right there. This Rosa is the best version of Rosa. Where did I put Bearded Rosa? Or the other one. Yeah. He can go in the bottom of unattractive. Because he's not disgusting looking, but he's not terrible. Base Drake, I think is also unattractive, and we can also just put him with the other Drakes, to be honest. He's just not very appealing looking, and his voice line is like one of the worst in the game. So he's just massive turn off for me. Corpse Demon is unattractive. Dude's got like these weird underbite things, and he's just a troll. And I'm not a fan. And I think he goes in the ugly tier. I think that's good. Cyber Rogan is just like a robot dog, and I'm not gonna comment on that, I don't think. Lord Balrog, the color scheme is gross, and he himself is gross, and he's gonna go in the ugly tier. Christmas Doom Terminator Vulcan looks kind of like a robot, but I don't know, actually. No, I can't. It's not, I don't think it's rankable because I don't feel attracted or unattracted to it. I don't feel really anything towards it. He just looks kind of like an action figure. And so that's where he's going to go. Berea skin looks very cool, but it's also stumpy and gross looking. And I don't want anything to do with it. So it's going to go in the unattractive tier. Corpse Demon, same deal. This one looks a little bit better, but not attractive in the slightest. This one is just a worse version of Aiden. Where did I put Aiden? Where's the little gross purple dude? Yeah. So we'll put him in the unattractive tier too. Just the shape is much worse, and he just doesn't look much better in terms of color. Purple Karim is actually kind of hot, not gonna lie. He can go in the attractive tier. Dude is built. He's got like these scary wings, which I'm into. I kind of like the wings. He's purple, which purple's a kind of relaxing color in the way that Karim is colored in it. So I'm all game. Here we go. This one's going to be a little bit weird because his head is still big. However, dude has like the most ideal face on the planet. His nose is a little big, but his muscles are emerging from beneath his clothing. Dude is just dressed like an absolute whore, to be honest, and I'm into it. I would throat Ice Blink, and I think he goes above. I think he can go below Russell, and as sad as it is to say, I think he goes above Star Alchemist Holmes Young. Gurk, I think this one looks a little bit worse than his angel skin, but nonetheless, still kind of attractive, oddly enough. I want to know what's behind that hood. I really do. And I know there's something behind it, because he has like this nice human voice, but I can't tell. Fat Moo is like this rock robot guy who looks kind of weird. Well, not robot, just rock guy. And this one looks worse than his barbecue version. Doom Terminator Vulcan looks like an action figure, and so I will leave it unranked. Faith Blade looks like an action figure, and I'll leave it unranked because I feel nothing towards it. Ega is gross. This one isn't as bad as his cowboy skin, where did I put that? I put that in unattractive. I think we need to bring that one down to ugly, and I think we need to just move this one up right there. I think that's fair. Regular Azrael looks gross. He just looks like this gross skeleton guy who has hair for some reason and has very weird proportions and is going to go in the unattractive tier. Here we go. Hyperspace Hunter Ilamok, the most recent hero to be released. We're going to take the skin first. He's a very well-proportioned dude. Dude exudes confidence, which I'm down for. but he just kind of looks like like the Purge, and he looks scary, and I'm just not attracted to it. He looks messy. Not like the skin is like poorly designed, but he looks like physically like he looks like a mess. Basically, he looks like he causes messes, and it looks just unclean. The skin looks very nice, but he himself looks unclean. And then Hyperspace Hunter Ilamok is fucking gorgeous, and he could go in the daddy tier. And in fact, he can go all the way, I think, right there. If he didn't have that little pout that he does just in the middle of his animation, he might be even higher. But dude is beautiful. And with that, the homies have been ranked. And the full tier list, I'm going to pinch my screen. Oh shit. I'm going to, fuck. Okay. I'm going to pinch my screen. There we go. And there we have the full thing. Enjoy. I'm glad you stuck around for the whole time. This video's got to be like an hour long at this point. But with that, that concludes the Idol Heroes Waifu and Husbando tier list. I hope you enjoyed. And again, my opinion is objective and correct. Your opinions can be expressed in the comments, and I'll reply to them, but they'll most likely be wrong. But yeah, here we go. Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate the time. Have a great day, everyone.